Hello everybody, welcome to OCHD and welcome to another Jumputi Heroes news video. I did not make a news video for the Black Clover event. In fact, I haven't made a video for a little while for the simple reason that in the UK it has just been too damn hot. I get the impression it's been too damn hot everywhere. But yeah, it's not good. My setup is right next to a south-facing window, so I'm just getting pounded by sunlight, plus my computer, plus the heat in the room is too much. So I just didn't make any videos for a while. But we are back with the news, and I have a few more videos that I did have planned for before that I couldn't release because I just couldn't record them. But now it's starting to cool down a bit. It's a bit better, a bit more relaxed. So I think it's okay, and I think we're going to make some more of those videos in the lead up to the half anniversary, which is coming very soon, less than a month away, so looking forward to that. But to start off, we have to talk about the Gintama Feature Festival. Yes, another Gintama Feature Festival, but this one bypassed any and all expectations I could have possibly had for it. Admittedly, I'm not this like super avid Gintama fan. I've not read the whole series. Like I can't tell you what the hypest moments are or the best characters to choose, but the fact that I know plenty of people that are Gintama fans and all of them were stunned at the choices for this event is quite funny. So this event is based on like I think it's like a 5-chapter arc, something like that, where not all the characters, but the majority of the characters switched gender. And it's, you know, it's a little gag arc. Not normally something we would consider as an eligible option to be chosen for a whole feature festival. 8 whole characters, all from this little arc. It's a bit unexpected, but some people would argue it has its redeeming features, which I guess we'll talk about. So, first things first, there is a special website. There were rewards given from this special website during the countdown, and now that the event has actually gone live. That's 2 limited gacha tickets, which is very rare that they'd give out even 1 for a feature festival. So the fact they're giving out 2, very, very nice. If you haven't got either of those already, go to the website quickly, because I don't know how long is left on the first one. It might time out soon, but the second one is still definitely available. Go get yourself 2 limited gacha tickets. You might get lucky. You never know. You might get lucky. Then we have the missions with Ginsan. Now this was a very weird choice. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. It hasn't mattered. But they've added these missions. The reward is just 10 of the 10 step tickets. So it's not that exciting a reward. Ultimately, it's just like 10 summons and one of them is guaranteed to be 5 stars. So whatever. Plus, for a lot of the veteran players, if you've let these tickets stack up, seeing more of these tickets does not excite you. Because they're probably just sitting there. They take so long to go through. There are other tickets you can do like 10 at a time or 5 at a time, or however many you've got at a time. And then there's like the friend point summon and stuff like that. You could do like 100 at a time. These tickets, 1 at a time. It is torture. It is torture. Hopefully they update that sometime in the future. Hopefully they also update Limit Break similarly sometime in the future. Anyway, these missions, they require you to include version 1 Gintoki in your squad. Anywhere in the team. Doesn't need to be in the front line. Anywhere in the team, but he needs to be in the team. Now, the reason this is weird to me is they gave out Gintoki for free, but only if you logged in during the countdown. If you're one of the players who has just started the game as of, let's say, today, you won't get that Gintoki for free. If you're one of the players returning and you happen to not have Gintoki in your I was going to say club, this is not FIFA, in your box, in your character box already, then you don't have this Gintoki from the countdown. That could be a problem. You won't be able to clear the missions. Now, the rewards aren't very good, so it kind of doesn't matter. And now this point has sort of been... it's sort of become a moot point, I would say. Just because we hit top trending, and instead of giving us a ruby reward, they've given us a choice ticket. So their argument would be, you can just choose Gintoki from the choice ticket, so whatever. But, A, I don't think that's a good choice of a choice. Like, there's so much better stuff to choose from the choice ticket than him. And also, that for a top... We hit trending twice. There were 2 hashtags that hit trending. So, getting a choice ticket for that is not great. One thing I cannot comprehend. There's this, like, mentality on the Japanese side. I'm purely talking about Twitter. So probably not representative of the whole fan base. There's this mindset of all these other players, they're greedy. They see us get top trending and they want rubies. But like, you've already gotten some free limited tickets, so what's, you know, why are you being so greedy? Listen, yeah, listen. I can't understand that thought process because greed goes both ways. You think the players are greedy. I think the devs are being greedy because if they've hit top trending twice, that means they're going to have a bunch of new players, a bunch of people who are potentially spending money on the game, which potentially means more revenue for them. So why would you not reward players with rubies unless you were being greedy and you didn't want them to have any rubies? It works both ways. I don't understand the mentality. The choice ticket is not a very good reward. I mean, it's fine, but it's not something everyone's going to be going crazy about. And considering it's for top trending, we don't hit top trending that often. I don't know. It's a bit weird to me. And the 10-step tickets, again, bit weird to me. Not a great reward, but it's there. It's there for you to get. We've also got the Gintama Gacha ticket, which was being given out from the daily missions. I think that's still on. I think that should be going throughout the event, which realistically, it's the old tickets. It's not these. It's not the new ones from this event. It's the original Gintama Gacha ticket. So you're probably not expecting to get that much good stuff, but again, it's more free summons. You can't really complain too much. Then we have the daily stage, which is a bit different from normal. You clear this stage. First of all, this daily stage has 2 stages. One of them is not daily. One of them is a prologue, and you clear it once, and you get 100 rubies, which is very nice. And that's supposed to set the scene for this feature festival, explain the story of how we came to this weird scenario, and essentially what it is, an abbreviated version, I guess. Kyubey ends up talking to this fortune teller lady, and the fortune teller just uses some power from some god. It seems to be some kind of cult, and switches the genders of most of the main characters in the story. And as a result of that, hijinks ensue. That's the basic premise of this arc. Not anything too highly cerebral. I think most people can wrap their heads around it without being able to read the prologue stage. But yes, you clear the prologue stage, you get the 100 rubies. Then the daily stage. The daily stage gives 10 rubies per clear, so 10 rubies a day. And depending on which character appears in front of you, the original Kyubey or the post-transformation Kyubey known as Jubei, you'll get different points, the Kyubey points or the Jubei points. Now, these points can be exchanged at the event exchange. The only issue I potentially see is people getting kind of screwed over by RNG. I don't know if there's any rewards. I'm going to check right now, actually. I'm going to check what the rewards are like for this event exchange, because obviously you could get screwed over. I don't know. So you need at least 1 Kyubey point and 1 Jubei point to get the emblem and the stamp, which are shown down here. And then the other rewards... Oh, okay, you can swap them. At least 3 times you can swap them. So you can trade a Jubei point for a Kyubei point and vice versa. And yeah, there's not much to the rewards. You need 3 of each to get 1 jewel fragment. My word, 1 jewel fragment. And then you need 7 of each to get, well, a total of 14 stamina tankards. That's actually not bad. The 1 jewel fragment is ridiculous. But yeah, you should be fine on that event. And other than that, I've just noticed, if you actually look at this image, it shows like, oh, there's a couple of stamina tankards. Look at all this gold. They've just put 1 jewel shard image and made it bigger. There is literally only 1 in the exchange. Awful. Awful. But yeah, it's a daily stage. For those that care about the stamps and emblems and stuff, you won't want to miss out on those. And for those that don't care, stamina tankards, I guess. I don't know. Then we have the points event, or the collection event, or whatever you want to call it, wherein you farm masculine spirit and feminine spirit. Now, the feminine spirit stage is open right now. The masculine spirit stage opens, I believe, on, does it say? I think it's on the 5th. Down here, on the 5th. So, have to wait until then. Now, there are some alright rewards in here. Not quite what I hoped for, I've got to be honest. So far, we can only see the rewards for the feminine spirit side of things. And the rewards are 100 rubies, 5 of the new tickets, which we'll talk about in a second, 10 of the monthly tickets, 2 of each hero jewel, 2 jewel fragments, and then some emblems, and then a bunch of other... There's like the... why can I not remember what they're called? The buns. They're like skill items, consumables. And then, yeah, there's not much else. So... the rewards aren't that great, assuming the masculine spirit one is the same again. That's only 200 rubies from this event. And then a total of, I guess, 10 of the new gacha tickets. The hero jewels are nice. They've been stepping up with that recently. I'll take that. But yeah. For somebody that doesn't care about emblems, they've really been putting a lot of emblems into the game. Like, okay, cool, but you really can only show 1 at a time, guys. You can only show 1, so I don't get it. I don't get it. And then, yeah, don't forget to bring boosted characters along. If you haven't cleared this stage yet, make sure to do the... there's one other farmable at the moment, which is Jubei. Go and get Jubei first, and use Jubei as a booster in your team. Unless you've gone in hard on the gacha, in which case... never mind, I guess. Actually, no, even still, if you've gone hard on the gacha, unless you have all 3 of the new gacha units that are currently out, plus the dual Gintama limited, then I think you'd still be best getting off Jubei. So, well, just do the stage. Do that stage first, get at least 1 copy, then come back to this one. And yeah, the new tickets include the new standard gacha units, the new hero units. Important to know, unlike most hero tickets that we get during events, I have had to make the specification here that there are no seasonals, because Gintama does have a seasonal gacha unit. It has 2 seasonal gacha units, and neither of them will be featured in this. So the mostly naked version of Kondo and the cross-dress version of Katsura, neither of them will be available from this ticket gacha. They are special seasonals, and the devs are not happy to give those out easily. So if you want them, you gotta wait till they're reprinted, and you're gonna have to spend, which is unfortunate. But yes, the first farmable unit of the event, we have Jubei Yagyu, and I find the reveals for this event were kind of weird to me, because they revealed Kagura first, But to me, Jubei made the most sense to announce first, because this whole arc is kind of centered around Jubei. So I don't know why they announced Kagura first. I don't know if they made a mistake. Wouldn't surprise me. But this is a weird one. It is a Catastrophe class event. This is technically the only Catastrophe class event in this celebration. I think the others are all named class events, which typically are much easier. So I don't know how hard this is. I haven't tried it yet, but in theory, this should be the hardest stage in the event. And it gives an emblem, which... good for you if you like emblems, I guess. I don't know. Then we have the second farmable. Now, what's interesting is these stages have all been given a sort of bonus of giving something. So this stage gives an emblem. This stage has got a stamp. So when this stage drops, you'll be able to get a chat stamp from the missions. And for some reason, some of these are easier than others. Most of these are very... none of them are going to be hard. But, say for example, this stage, the mission is just to clear it one time, which realistically anybody is going to do in the process of farming this character. So, you clear the stage one time, you get the stamp. Same here. This is not a Catastrophe class event. I don't actually know what the top difficulty of this stage is going to drop. I guess we'll see. I don't know. But you get the stamp again just from clearing the stage one time. It will be in missions. Actually, I don't know. Maybe this is just an Ultimate class event. I feel like the banner doesn't look right for an Ultimate class event. Again, they may have made an error. I know I've written Ultimate class there, but Ultimate class is always the difficulty that we farm on. And then there is one more stage above that typically you only clear once. Let me actually check if it says in game if it only goes up to Ultimate and they've just messed up the banner image. Which, again, wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it has its own class. So, it's not Transcendent, it's not Ultimate, it's not Catastrophe, it's just its own thing. So, I don't know what to expect, but I would imagine it will be relatively easy. And then this stage, now this is what I'm talking about. So all of these stamps is just like clear it once. This stage, you could only clear it once a day and you need to clear it 10 times. And it's only around from the 5th until the 14th. So you only have 10 opportunities. You have to clear it every day, pretty much. I think every day, yeah. Because then, yeah, 7, 10, yeah, of course it is, yeah. So you have to clear this every day. If you don't, you won't get that stamp, which I don't really care about the stamps that much, but that seems a little bit dumb. Also, listen, I don't really know Japanese ins and outs, but I'm pretty sure that says thank you. I'm pretty sure that says arigato. But she looks very sad. So I don't know why they've added a stamp that's just a very sad thank you. But this stage is yet another RNG stage, and depending on which enemy you face, you'll get a different ultimate buddy or passive hero jewel, not a normal one. And if you happen to get Tenko Hijikata, you will get a bowl of mayonnaise. Now, a bowl of mayonnaise is just a consumable item. I think it just gives skill EXP. It might just be normal character EXP. It's not what you want here. You want the hero jewels. So, if you get unlucky, then you might end up with a lot of mayonnaise, which is very unfortunate. I'm hoping that most people will mostly just get jewels. But yeah, weird event. Weird event. Then we have another Transcendent class event, and yet again, we have the stamp, but you only have to clear it one time. So this is the only one that's a little bit tricky. If you miss even one day, you're done. You're done. But all the other stages, it's fine. So what has led to this choice, I don't know, but yeah, make sure to get all the stamps, I guess. Then this stage. Now this one, they have changed the banner image for it since it was announced originally in the news. And the original image had limited doors on it and Muso doors on it. Now obviously we would like those. We would like the limited and Muso doors. I don't know if they're going to have the doors of every rarity on this stage. I suspect maybe they won't, which would be a shame. But I don't really know. What I do know is you can farm this stage. So you get a bunch of limit break doors for clearing it the first time, and then every time after that you can farm it like you would farm a normal event to get a character, except you'll get limit break doors. I don't know how many, but what I do know is it's only available for 1 day. So I'm guessing it's going to be an okay-ish amount, and they're expecting us to rinse all our stamina barrels on this. I guess we'll see when the event comes out, but definitely if it ends up being good, you'll want to go, maybe go in on the stamina barrels on this stage. Some people, like myself, are not that interested in limit break. It's just like, it's a feature. It doesn't typically help that much in anything except super dimensional battles, so whatever. Like, I'm not that bothered whether I have some extra event doors and hero doors. If they happen to drop Muso and limited, which I have a feeling they won't, but if they happen to, then maybe it'll be alright. But yeah, we'll see when the event comes out. Then we have the Yagyu Kyubei, or Kyubei Yagyu second stage. This one is not a catastrophe, but it does drop an aura costume. So in theory, this should be relatively easy, and you should be able to get the aura costume without too much trouble. They've specifically designed this event so that you farm Jubei. You farm, this is getting confusing. You farm Jubei and you farm Akio, and in theory, both of these characters should give you some sort of help to defeat this stage, which comes out later in the event, comes out on the 9th. And that will help you get the costume, and it shouldn't be too hard. You should be able to get the costume, and like I said, this whole event feels like it should be based around this character, so makes sense. If we're only going to get one costume, that it would be here. Then we have the epilogue stage, which will give us 100 rubies. All in all, we're not getting a lot of rubies from this event. That's what it feels like anyway. But yeah, make sure to clear that. And we have the reprints, which are coming in waves. So keep an eye on the event page for the reprints, because they are not included in the Gintama section. They are included in the like general event part. And there's a load of events up right now. If you haven't evolved Kagura, you got a chance to do that. If you don't have Arbuto, if you don't have who else is on here? There's loads of characters on here from like earlier events. Like Takasugi, if you don't have him, he's in there right now. And there's the waves of the events will switch 3 times, or twice technically, but there will be 3 waves. And what's important to note about this is these are not the only reprints. There will also be the Miss Jumputi reprints. Now, what's interesting about the Miss Jumputi reprints is there is nothing in the files added in this data download regarding the Miss Jumputi reprints. Now, here's the question. Is there going to be something special coming with this event? Because admittedly, if they release the Miss Jumputi stuff, all they have to do is use the old sales packs that were already in the game, use the old limited banners that are already in the game, use the old standard gacha unit banners that are already in the game. They've already been redesigned not that long ago, so they're relatively close to the current up-to-date design. All they got to do is reuse all of that stuff, and it's fine, right? So they don't need to do anything special for this. But the fact that there's nothing, to me, is a little bit suspicious. They could have done like a limited reprint banner or anything. They could have put so many things in here that they haven't. and it kind of raises a red flag to me, because this is such a weird event, and I think the fact that we got this reprint going on and it starts on the 5th and there's no mention of it, that makes me think that we're gonna have something for this. I don't know what it is, whether they'll add that boa from the Taiwan version or something, I don't know, but I really feel like there's gonna be another data download next week. Whether I will be proven right, or I mean, maybe there'll be a data download and it'll just be more reprint stuff. I don't know. But to me, I feel like there's gonna be something. Now, there is the reasonable argument that, say for example, this event, it starts on the 10th, it's already in the data download. So if that's in the data download, then, you know, this is on the 5th. That stage comes out after this hypothetical second data download would be. So why wouldn't it be in that data download, not in this one? That's because in these feature festivals, they put all the stages in and they show you the countdown of how many days it'll be till they start. So the banner needs to be there, otherwise they can't do that. So they gotta add it early, even if the stage isn't starting yet. That's a theory. This is just a theory, of course. But I'm a little bit sus. And if you look at the data download in general, I feel like there's not much coming out, currently speaking. There's not much in there that seems to be planned too far beyond the 5th. I could be wrong. Obviously, I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me, at least. That's what it looks like to me. Especially the fact that there's no, like, countdown stuff or stuff hinting at the sports festival, which will be next. So, just a theory, but yes, I do feel like potentially there could be something coming for that. So, even if there isn't, if you've missed out on any of these units, this is going to be your only opportunity for a little while. So, probably worth having a look at that. Then, next up, we have the Tower Boost, which, interestingly, does not only boost the Gintama units, even though it says the Magical Change boost, it's not only boosting characters from this feature festival, you can also see Katsura there, who is from the Miss Jumputi convention event. So there may be some other characters boosted, which is pretty cool. Then we have our first limited gacha. Now, we have talked in the past about the fact that it seems like they are trending towards around 5 limiteds a month. Around 2 limiteds per event plus 1 extra where they can fit it in. And I feel like this event is yet another victim of that, because we seem to have moved away from 3 standard gacha units down to 2 in order to potentially either have promoted one of those standard gacha units to a limited, or made one of those standard gacha units an event unit and promoted an event unit to a limited, or something like that. That's what seems to be the case here, at least in my opinion. I feel like this event was only destined to have 1 limited. Another thing to note, this event and the Black Clover event, I'm fairly certain, were both made quite a long time ago. And I think that's why this event feels so weird, because the game has changed a lot recently, and one of the things that's changed, as we mentioned, is the limiteds. We have 2 in this event, which it's weird to have a gag event with 2 limiteds. It's just so strange, but we do have it. And this does also fit in with something that they've done in the past, which is the month before the Annie, it's an opportunity to drain rubies out of people. If my theory is correct, and we are going to get something for the Miss Jumputi convention, along with 2 limiteds for this event, and they haven't given us that many limiteds during this event, that would all fit together. Did I say limiteds? I meant rubies. They didn't give us that many rubies during this event. So all these limiteds coming out, but not too many rubies. They're trying to drain us before the anniversary. It makes sense. But we have Ginkgo. We have the new Gintama Limited, and we have 2 new standard gacha units. And this format, honestly, I think most people have made their peace with it. Yes, you have to do 1 extra multi, but you are guaranteed to have both of the new heroes as a result of that. So it's fine. I think most people agree that it's fine. But yes, it obviously does drain more rubies, and obviously if there are 2 of these banners, like if you're a Gintama fan and you're like, I must have both of these limits. I don't know many Gintama fans that were saying that, but let's hypothetically say that was the case. I must have both of the limiteds, this one and this one. The problem you'll face is that both of them have the same heroes featured on it. So you're just going to end up with dupes of both, which arguably is not that great. Going forward, I hope at least during like anniversaries and stuff, they take a look at that and maybe like, I don't know, maybe they release a new limited side A and a side B and maybe they both have different heroes on it. Obviously that's a lot of work for them, but I'm talking purely big celebrations. I'm not talking about every feature festival, because most people are not going to pull for both limiteds on every feature festival, but in a major celebration they might just do that. So I think it'd be nice to have different heroes on each banner. But yeah, if you end up going for both, you're going to end up with dupes, definite dupes, which is I guess it's a shame, but whatever. Generally speaking, I think these banners are okay. I think the choices of limited are somewhat questionable, but at the same time, you know, it's just a weird event all round, so I guess it doesn't matter who they picked as the limiteds. There was always going to be at least one. I didn't necessarily know there was going to be 2, but that's the way they do things now. That is the operation style now, so we just have to go with it. And this is the first limited for Okita, so for fans of that character, there you go, enjoy. And then we have see, that's another interesting thing, that's on the 4th, guys. Put on your tinfoil hats. That is on the 4th, that limited is on the 4th. And then on the 5th, that's when the Miss Jumputi stuff happens. So this banner had to be in the files for the 4th, but anything beyond that can be in the next data download. So I'm just saying, just big picture here, guys, big picture. Also bear in mind that during the Black Clover event, we had William as the 2nd limited. Came out much later than Soko is coming out during this event. I think it was like 8 days into the event or 7 days into the event. So this is earlier, much earlier. This is all just speculation, but I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there. Then we have the revamped defeat gachas, and while generally speaking I don't recommend defeat gacha, as they have been improved, honestly, it's hard to call them bad value. If you're like new to the game and you missed out on, say, Jindeku, which is very possible, summoning on this gacha, if you really wanted them, is not bad at all. This is definitely one of the best ways to go for returning limiteds now, because yes, it does cost 10 multis, but 10 multis, you get to choose which one of these limiteds you want, and you'll get some heroes on the way up, guaranteed. Plus you've got the standard pool as well, and you know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good in my opinion. Then we have gacha like this, the returning limited and hero gacha. Now this is for the Gintama fans. If you're a Gintama fan, then this is good. Potentially. It's quite expensive. That's the only issue. 15 multis to get a choice out of the limiteds. You can only see 3 here. There are 4. Shiroyasha is on there. I have completely messed that up. But Shiroyasha Gintoki is on there as well. So I know it's confusing because he's there too, but there's 2 Shiroyasha. One of them is a dual unit, one of them is not. But yes, Shiroyasha version 1 is there. Now, this gacha gives you a whole bunch of 5 stars, gives you guaranteed Gintama units, which if you've missed out on any Gintama units and you're a Gintama fan, it's a good opportunity. And you also get a guaranteed limited on the 9th multi, and on the 15th multi, a choice of the limiteds. So honestly, again, if you're a massive Gintama fan, you've missed out on all these characters, this is a great opportunity. So something to consider, though again, it is very expensive. Then we have this. I haven't had an opportunity to talk about this with anybody, really, because I noticed it and then I forgot about it. But This is bizarre. So they have updated this pack, and essentially what they've done is the pack that they always used to release, which was 750 rubies, plus some jewels and scrolls and limit break doors, plus the 5-star ticket which guarantees you one of the hero units, has been updated. And all the extra stuff is gone. It is now just 1,000 rubies, so an extra 250, and a 5-star unit, one of the 2 new 5-star heroes. So you're getting an extra 250. It's the same price. You get an extra 250 rubies, and all the extra stuff is gone. So whether you think that's good or not, I don't know. To me, this ticket was never good value anyway. But 250 rubies equivalent to 3 jewels plus some other stuff? It's probably technically better, I would argue. But ultimately, I still don't think you should buy this pack ever. But what's interesting is they took the pack from before and they just replaced the ticket. So this has had all the stuff in the middle taken out, and they've added 250 rubies. This is all the stuff in the middle with the original rubies, but the ticket has changed. And the ticket change is to a standard choice ticket. I don't think it is it a standard choice ticket? Sasuke's there. He is not on the standard choice ticket. Is he? Which one? That's the Boruto Sasuke. He came out earlier this year. So it's not a standard choice ticket, because otherwise he wouldn't be on there. So it at least includes some units from earlier this year, I guess. And then some jewels and some other stuff. Again, this ticket is not good value. Even when this had guaranteed new hero in it, it was not worth it. So the fact that it's not a guaranteed new hero anymore, it's not worth it. But it is a choice ticket, so no, it's not worth it. It is flat out not worth it. So why they decided to split these packs into 2, and they're both just awful. You made one bad pack into 2 bad packs. I don't get it. Sometimes I feel like these devs don't know what they're doing with the sales packs. They will occasionally drop some bangers, and you know what I consider a banger. Obviously, as a consumer, anything that gives me loads of rubies for cheap is going to be amazing, but anything that can tempt you, anything that's right on that borderline of, ooh, you know what? And then you just get your credit card out. Anything that could do that, they're making money, they're happy. These packs are not it. They are not it. Then we have 2 Gintama-ish packs. These packs suck. They're 1960 yen, which is admittedly is not that expensive. You get 250 rubies, and you get a 5-star ticket that gives you a very, very, very small chance of getting a limited from Gintama. But you could also just get any standard Gintama 5-star unit. So not worth it. Not worth it. And we have the choice ticket, which gives you a battle ready Gintama hero. But still not worth it. Still not. And the reason I say it's still not worth it is because, okay, battle ready means nothing. It just means they've been evolved to 6-star and their skills are level 6. You can do that in 10 minutes just from playing the game. Not even 10 minutes. Couple of minutes. You could do that just from playing the game. So it's not going to be that hard to get them to that point, so why bother? Ignoring that aspect of it is a choice of a Gintama unit, but if you want like the best Gintama hero grade units, you want the new ones, which are on this pack. So how is this any better? And you can buy it twice, guys. You can buy it twice. Awesome. Yeah, again, 2 more packs that are just not tempting at all. Then we have the whale packs. These packs work, not because they're good for the consumer, they are evil. But the whales will buy these. The whales are not going to buy these. They don't care about these, but the whales will buy these. So they at least serve their purpose. I'm not going to buy them, but someone will. Then we have this pack, which is just, I mean, it's a lot cheaper than this one, and you actually get some rubies in it. But buying limit break doors that's Satan's work. I can't be dealing with that. Then we have this one I don't understand. At first glance, it looks like they've just put the same pack twice, but look closely. One of them you can buy twice, and one of them you can only buy once. And it starts like one day after the other, and they both end at the same time. If anybody has any idea why they've done this, let me know, because I am clueless. Could they not have just had them release at the same time, or just have one pack and you could buy it 3 times? They already released this pack in the past and you could buy it 3 times. So why have they split it into 2 and 1? And why are they acting like 1 is like a mega deal? Like, look, the text is all highlighted in red and shit, and then it's like, oh yeah, the 2. Bizarre. The devs... And this one you can buy 3 times. Launches on the 4th. And again, not great value. It's just not great value. Then we have the update to Sparks of a Lost Civilization. We kind of saw that this was coming, but we saw it was coming on the Taiwan server. Before it came over to the JP server, we saw that they were getting is it Yopi? I don't know how you say it because I've only read the manga. But we saw that he would be coming over. I think it's Yuppie. Yeah. So Yuppie would be coming over from the technically not coming over from the Taiwan server, because he's actually not even out on the Taiwan server yet, I think. So I think they're both going to be coming out about the same time. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is they are replacing Joker with Yuppie in the Sparks store and as a Sparks reward. In addition to that, they have added 4 more stages, 21, 22, 23, and 24. As far as the rewards and stuff, we don't know the full details, but what we do know is they have made it so that when you get 21 SS ranks, you will get a ultimate attack jewel. When you get 22 SS ranks, you will get a buddy skill jewel. When you get 23 SS ranks, you will get a passive skill jewel. And when you get 24 SS ranks, you will get 1 hero ultimate attack jewel, 1 support or buddy skill ultimate attack jewel, and 1 passive skill. I don't know what I'm saying. You get a set of hero jewels. This is what I'm saying. I think a lot of people brushed over that part. The reward for 24 SS ranks is not free jewels. It is free hero jewels. It specifically says that in the news. So I don't know why, but that's what they're doing. As for what else they're going to add as rewards and other stuff, I have no idea. But I kind of don't really fuck with this game that much, so whatever. But we got a new emblem, and we got Yuppie, and he's got an aura costume. So technically we got 2 aura costumes during the course of this event. More than we can really say for Black Clover, although that was supposed to have 2 costumes, but then it didn't. And one of them was on a standard Gacha unit from like 2018, 2019 or something, and I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the news and the leaks. So the news, there's no more news. There are more leaks though. So we have the hand-picked selection. Now, hand-picked selection, I should be clear, they use this terminology quite commonly, and what it means is, give us your money. I don't care if the banner is good or it's bad, it says selection, so give us your money. They use it so often, like it's some special thing, but this game has so many characters at this point. Who cares? Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter what your selection is, it's probably not going to be that good. Now, this pack in particular, not pack, it's a gacha, it gives you a guaranteed 2022 limited, but it specifically says pick up unit in the information in game. So what that probably means is that it is only these 3, or potentially, I don't know, maybe there's a couple more, or maybe there's 1 more, I don't know, but it's not going to be all of the 2022 limiteds, obviously. But you go 7 limiteds and you get 1 of them guaranteed, no choice. As far as we know, we don't know if it's going to reset. We don't know if it's going to just go to the end and end there. But that is a relatively cheap shot at a 2022 limited, assuming we get to preview that pool at some point, and you can see that you have none of the units that are featured. This would actually be not a bad way to spend your rubies. But again, this is an evil month. They're trying to drain rubies, so pay attention. Pay attention to what they're trying to do to you. For me, personally, I know for a fact I have Reborn and Suna and I have Tengen, so I will absolutely not be touching this banner. But if you happen to have none of the featured limiteds, 7 multis for a guaranteed 2022 limited, not bad value. Then we have the Sparks of a Lost Civilization Conquer the Depths gacha. This gacha has been specifically added to help with the new stages. So I assume the new stages will feature gimmicks that these 4 units counter. I don't know if it's only these 4 units or there's going to be more, but what I do know is you get a choice ticket on the 9th multi, which means you can choose one of these 4, which is pretty cool. I always like it when it's a choice ticket on the 9th multi, because if it's 9th multi random limited, there's potential to get cucked. But if it's a choice ticket and say you only wanted Toriko, you can go get Toriko. You don't have to worry about it. So I think that's pretty cool. Obviously, you still have a chance on the way up to get the others. But if your main focus is Toriko, 9th multi, you can get him. Obviously, you could say, oh, well, when Toriko came out, I could have done 9 multis and got him. And you're correct. But this is an opportunity for somebody that maybe missed out on Toriko. And you still have a chance of getting these other units. So it's cool. Then we have the Superstar Gacha. Do not be deceived by this banner image. This is one of the worst gacha in the entire game. The reason this is one of the worst gacha in the entire game is because there are no guarantees. You do not even get a guaranteed 5-star on this gacha, let alone a guaranteed limited, certainly not a guaranteed Muso. So even though they put Hashirama in the middle, the chances of you getting Hashirama specifically are very, very dangerously close to 0. So I cannot in good conscience recommend anybody summon on this gacha. There are no guaranteed limiteds at any point. There are no guaranteed 5-stars at any point. There's no guaranteed Muso at any point. The only thing you are guaranteed is a rate up on the 5-star rate. Bear in mind the normal rate is 5%. So on the 2nd and 3rd multi, it's ×2. So you have a 10% chance at a 5-star. On the 4th multi, it's ×3. So you have a 15% chance of a 5-star. But again, 5-star. Not of a limited, not of a Muso, just of any 5-star. So not worth it. And on the 4th multi, you get a version 1 limited choice ticket, which at this point, admittedly, if somebody gives you that as a reward, that's kind of cool. But if you have to spend money for it, it's not worth it. So don't do it. And yeah, I can't condemn this gacha enough. I hate it so much. Then we have the 7-step gacha. Now, this gacha, if we're talking about value, again, don't forget they're trying to drain your rubies before the Annie. But in terms of value, this is very good. First multi, 500 rubies. Second multi, 750 guaranteed 5-star. Third multi, free. Fourth multi, 1000 rubies, guaranteed 5-star. Fifth multi, 1000 rubies, 2 guaranteed 5-stars. Sixth multi, free. Seventh multi, 1000 rubies, guaranteed limited. Seemingly, there are only these 4 units featured on the gacha. These are 4 good units. We don't know if there's going to be more. We're going to have to wait and see. If there are more, that may sway opinions on the gacha one way or the other. It will depend. But in terms of value, 4,250 rubies for a guaranteed limited plus 4 more 5-star units is pretty good. So bear that in mind. We don't know when this is coming out. We don't know if there will be more featured units, so on and so forth. But at face value, this looks pretty good. I will remind you yet again, I do think they're trying to get us to drain our rubies before Annie, but yeah, potentially quite good value. For someone like me, not good value, because I have... Actually, I think... Do I have that Goku? I don't have Goku, but I do have Kenshin, I do have Rengoku. So if you have any of the units featured, it's probably not going to be good value, because you still have the potential to get fucked over. Any chance you get to not get fucked over is great. If there's even a chance, even a little speck of a chance that you could get fucked over just because you have one of the featured units, that means it's not worth it. on any reprint of any kind. If there's any chance you could get a dupe, it's not worth it. And here, there is a chance. It's not worth it. It doesn't matter if there's a chance getting a dupe on the way up, but I'm talking specifically about the guarantee. Then we have the double 6-star sale pack. They do this quite often, and it's not really worth it. Unless they've made it so that it's only featured these like units from this year, in which case it might be worth it, except they haven't done that. In the past, they've shown like only new units on the banner image, and it's just got a bunch of 5 stars on it from like 2018 and stuff, so probably not worth it. Then the this is what I was talking about, hand-pick selection. What's this? 3 times you could buy 4,900 yen. What are these 5 stars? Why do I... What's going on? What's going on? Why do they think people want these packs? I don't get it. I guess people must be buying them, but why? It's not good value. It's simply not good value. Admittedly, it's got Kaminari on there, who I believe was only added this year. So there might be some units from this year that you could pick. I said that with the pack before with the adult Sasuke on it, but regardless, I don't think these packs are worth it. Then we have the special limited multi-pack. Generally speaking, I don't recommend these. It depends on the limited pool. If it only had units from this year and you didn't have any of them, and for 4,900 yen you could get 500 rubies and get one of them guaranteed plus 9 other 5-star units, that would be pretty cool. But I have a feeling that's not the case, so not even worth mentioning. Then we have the limited choice ticket pack. 10,000 yen is a lot to pay for a limited choice ticket. Admittedly, you do get 2,050 rubies, but there's a new pack that's been out recently. I don't know if they're going to release it every month, but they released it last month, where you can get the special limited choice ticket pack. And it had like a pretty decent limited pool. And you got like 3,000 rubies and a bunch of other rewards. So that pack would be more worthwhile buying than this one. Admittedly, you have to wait for the whole month, but that's probably better so you don't use all your goodies before Annie. But anyway, I don't recommend this pack. And then these 3 packs, I certainly do not recommend. 3,680 yen for 1,000 rubies and 1 jewel. Jesus. And then we have this emblem. This is the only thing they've added to the files related, I assume, to the reprints that will involve the Miss Jumputi convention. So whether or not that's the case, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm still very suspect of that event. I feel very, very strongly that they're going to drop something out of nowhere during that event. What it'll be, new limits, new hero grade unit, new event unit, something. We'll wait and see. And we have a new ship, which is going to be available, I don't know when. I don't know. So far, you can only get the ship up to level 50, and that is not enough to get you this ship. It is only enough to get you the level 3 ship. This is the level 4 ship. So, how we're going to get there, when we're going to get there, who can say? But this is certainly something. The only thing I'm excited about really is when they add new levels, that will mean more rewards. Every time you level up, you get some kind of reward. Admittedly, some of them are just like gold coins and stuff and whatever, but there's some good ones in there. There's some rubies and there's some like some bonuses like stamina boost and limit break cost down and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, cool. And we have the new log function. Now this, has this been implemented yet? We haven't had a version update, have we? I have not had a version update. I am still on... But that can't be right. I haven't even got the Black Clover logo. Have they skipped updates again? Did they never update the game for the Black Clover event? They didn't. It looks like they didn't, and they haven't updated it for this one either. So whenever this update is supposed to be added, it's not here yet. So... I don't know. I don't know. But this update is supposed to be added some point in the future, and it will show the log of what your opponents have said. And the reason that is useful is because the opponents will often tell you what they have just done to you, or what they are about to do to you next turn, or what they are planning to do to you in 2, 3, 4 turns, or what they have just done to themselves. All useful information, all things that you need to know. Stuff like buffs, debuffs, and other gimmicks. So kind of cool, obviously, for the general player base in the English-speaking community. It might not be that useful, but for the Japanese players, at least, pretty cool. And we also have something which I'm going to have to put on screen here. We had speculated there was this extra bit of space in the filters where you could filter, you know, the grade of unit. Event unit, hero grade unit, limited unit, Muso unit. They put this extra space in. And we speculated, could that mean something? Could that be a sign that they're going to add something else? And I think a lot of the more sensible people said, well, maybe that's for, you know, like seasonal units. Maybe they'd be separate in some way. Or maybe they'd have like, I don't know, like something like Hero Plus. Sometimes we call it Hero Plus. Because like the Hunter x Hunter crossover with Yu Yu Hakusho, those units are sort of considered seasonals, but they're not really seasonal. It's not a Christmas unit. It's not a Valentine's unit or whatever. But it's still considered a seasonal. So maybe they have some name for it, some Hero Plus or something like that. But we have seen on the Taiwan version of the game, they have accidentally shown us that there is a button. There is a button. What is the button? That's a good question. But it appears above Muso. Does that mean they're going to add a rarity above Muso? Maybe. My speculation would be that potentially the plan is for Muso characters to be more like the legendary characters, like you know, Hashirama was like super cool in the past. He's a character of legend. I think the only characters that really bucked the trend there is like Fuki to an extent, but Fuki was still like a legendary character, and Vegito. Super Vegito is the only one that really bucks the trend there, but you could make the argument that it's still like these are characters that were sort of like separate from the protagonist. I know Goku and Vegeta fuse into Vegito. I know Taikubo and I can't remember his name, the guy that looks like an imp, fuse into Fuki, or rather refuse into Fuki. But the thing is, a lot of people would agree, not everybody, but a lot of people would agree that Muso seems to be held for those sort of characters. They're not version 2s of characters, they're all version 1s, and they're all sort of this huge moment in the series, specific character. Maybe it happened ages ago, maybe it's happening right now, but it's sort of this moment sort of character. Whereas stuff like, let's say, Horn of Salvation Ichigo, it doesn't really feel like it fits there, but at the same time it doesn't feel like he should be a limited. Like, do you really feel like limited Ichigo, Horn of Salvation, or whatever you want to call the final arc Ichigo limited? I guess that's spoilers for 1000 Year Blood War, but come on now. You wouldn't really make him a Muso, but at the same time, should he be a limited? Should he be the same grade as Ginko and Soko? Doesn't really feel right, does it? So potentially this will be a new grade of character that's like the protagonist, or I don't know. I don't really know how to word it, but like maybe we have characters that are like legendary, and then we have characters that are becoming legendary, sort of thing. You know, I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well, but I guess, what's a good example? What's a really good example of a series that has characters like that? You know what? I've got a good example. This is spoilers for One Piece, but it's got to be said. Goldie Roger is a Muso character. He is this peerless, unmatched hero, legendary character from the past. But then you have Luffy, and the most recent Luffy is a limited. We have the limited Red Rock Luffy. Luffy has a new transformation during that arc that brings him to a power level he's never been to before, that's far beyond Red Rock or anything else he's done so far. Does it feel right for that version of that character to be on the same level as Red Rock Luffy and the same level as these characters here? Or should he be something else? But at the same time, should he be Muso? There's a question there, and I think I would argue that maybe a new rarity makes sense. I don't know what it'd be called, I don't know how it's going to be implemented, but I have a feeling we'll learn more. Maybe not too soon, but soon enough. Soon enough. And as for Taiwan accidentally leaking that stuff, the Taiwan side of the dev team have made a few mistakes here and there. It does feel kind of like an afterthought over there. There's definitely certain things like for example, they've added this new debuff. It's a little while ago now, but they added a new debuff when they added Light Yagami and Ryuk to the Taiwan server. And it's supposed to be like some super special poison bomb type thing. And instead of adding that to the sprite sheet of debuffs, they just made a new one, and it's only got one sprite on it, and it's that debuff. Which is just an extra thing for the game to load, because you could have just left it, you could have added it to the existing sprite sheet, but I think because it's not being added to the Japan server at any point, they decided to just make their own thing. Which, I mean, okay, fair enough. But I don't know, they've done a few things like that, so it's not surprising that they've accidentally added this button that may or may not indicate that we're getting something soon. But yeah, I think there's some definite signs of some mischief going on, and I'm not going to say they've cheapened what limiteds are, because they've actually put the price of them up in most cases, up to 10 moes, but I would say they have moved in a direction where it would almost make sense for there to be something else. You know, not just limiteds, like, I mean, I'm not going to rule out the possibility that this other thing, it could be anything, you know, it could be nothing. It could just be a mistake in the code. It could be anything. But there's definitely there's some fuckery going on. I'm sure we'll talk about that more in the coming days. I'm definitely going to try and get some more videos out soon. I have some videos planned. They're written in my notes app. They're ready to be made. I've just been waiting for things to cool down. So now that they have, that will be coming soon. And lots more to talk about, lots more to discuss with the upcoming events. Not long till Annie. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Not long till the sports event. Definitely looking forward to that. So I'm sure I'll be seeing you again very soon. But until then, I'll do it for today. So I'll see you guys next time.